Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Hayden. I wanted to go through now this foundation paper for Edexcel 2023. This is a past paper. And yeah, just feel free to be here. This is a video that I want to explain maybe into the intricacies of what this paper is for those who want to get that 5 to secure the 5, or I don't know, for you who are not that confident, or maybe you don't understand some certain methods. I'm here to help you with that. So without further ado, let's get into it with question 1. Write 38% as a decimal. I've actually fallen into this the trap of this twice, to write this into a fraction. So just remember, decimal. Maybe this is only me, but you never know. When you get nervous, things in exams, anything can happen. So 38, it's 38 over 100. That's what 38% is, because per is every and cent is 100, right? So this is 38 over 100. What does it mean? What does over mean? Fraction is division. 38 divided by 100. What does divide by 100 mean? Essentially, if we write the number down like this, right? That's as a decimal, 0.000. So the value still doesn't change. You see these two zeros here. So you slide it down two numbers, 1, 2, 1, 2, which would make what? 0.38. Yes. What fraction of the shape is shaded? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 total pieces. That means the denominator would be 10. But what would be the numerator? It's how many shaded, literally. So 3 out of 10 pieces. So here is a list of numbers. From this list, write down the smallest numbers for question 3. So if this was later in the paper, there may be some things where you need to convert into different values and whatnot, but for this you don't need to worry. It's the start of the paper, they're going easy on you. Look at the first number here, 1, 1, 2, 0, 1. The one that starts with 0 will be the lowest one. So work out -9 plus 5, so that would be -4. And if you want to get into the intricacies of it, you can actually swap it around. 5 minus 9, if this is easier for you, because obviously takes away 5. What if you take away, well, you can even do it like this, right? 9 minus 5. What's 9 minus 5? 4. So when 5 takes away 9, there'll be a remainder of 4, which is -4. I hope this makes sense. Like there's some excess, right? So question 5 here, p minus 2 equals 3. Do a cheeky bit of rearranging. P equals, remember to flip your sign. Remember, you never know what will happen when you get nervous, but 3 plus 2, which is 5. So this is a diagram of a circle. What's wrong with this circle, right? So this is the center, can't argue with them. It's in the middle of the circle. And what the circumference is, if you're not familiar, circumference is the perimeter, which means the outside of the circle, and it points to here, this bit, it points to the outside edge of this circle. So you can't argue with that as well. But if you look at this diameter, what's wrong with this? This, from the middle of the circle up until anywhere on the edge, or from the center, that, here, to the circumference, that distance is called actually a radius. This is exactly what it is. What a diameter is if you put one radius, extend it with another radius. 2 radii is diameter, because what the radius is from one end of the circumference to an other end of the circumference on the opposite side. Because obviously if you do this from one end for the circumference to that, that's something else, right? Don't worry about that. It's a chord. That is a chord. So explain why one of the labels is wrong, because the diameter is actually a radius. I don't believe you need to go super in depth for this. Literally just tell them the problem. Yeah. So write down 3 different factors of 20. So it's literally just looking for any 3 factors. If you look at this, 20, what goes into 20? Obviously 1 times 20, because 120 is 20. 2 times 10, 2 tens is 20. 4 times 5, 5 fours or 4 fives is 20. So you can literally, because it's looking for 3 different factors, not even prime factors. So any 3 of them, and bang, that is 2 marks. So just don't drop your silly marks for silly mistakes. In this paper, you can get a 5. You really can. And then now, work out the size of this angle marked X. So when an angle is like this, when it's a circle shape, always 360. So what's this? This means the total thing is 360. But this part, 50, is already taken out. So the X is everything left. That means X would be 360 minus 50, which would be 310 degrees. The student says that an angle of 50 degrees is an obtuse angle. The student is wrong. Why? So there are 4 types of angles. Our favorite type, the right angle, right? So, and then there's an angle that's like this. So that's less than 50, because you can see this line, it goes more inwards. So that's smaller, right? So this is called an acute. Can I spell today? Yes, I can. Acute angle. This, that looks a bit right, but let me draw it better. This is an acute angle because it's bigger than 90 degrees. I mean obtuse angle because it's bigger than 90 degrees. And lastly, there's this, which is called a reflex angle, which is the outside of this angle, right? So why are they wrong? An obtuse angle is over or bigger than 90 degrees. 50 degrees is smaller than 90 degrees. And that's your mark there. So next one. First one, write down the coordinates of point B. So let's see how many across there is first. 5 across, 2 up. That means it's 5, 2. And then plot the point with coordinates 4, negative 2. 4 across right here, down to negative 2. So this is C. In fact, it's not good for you to dot your points. So don't take from my example, you should cross it. So that's point C. Write down the coordinates of the midpoint of AB. So let's do something first. Let's find A. What's A? A is negative 3 and 4. So there's negative 3 and 4. Oh, did my working out in the wrong place, but negative 3 and 4. And what's B? B is 5, 2. So what the midpoint is, literally add the 2 points together, divide it by 2 because it's in the middle. So 4 plus 2, 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So you literally just half it. Negative 3 plus 5 is 2. Divided by 2, it's 1. So let's see if it makes sense on the graph. 1, 1, 2, 3. So this is the midpoint. That makes sense. And draw the line with equation y equals negative 4. What does it mean by y equals negative 4? First, let's find the y value, negative 4. It's right here. So y equals negative 4 is no matter what the x is, the x can be here. The x can be here, here, here. Who cares, right? Here, even. The y is always remaining negative 4. So that means the only thing that can change is the x value, which means you draw it across like this. Because in this, the x value can be 6, can be 5, can be 4, but the y stays at negative 4. So that's our line y equals negative 4. Next one. Wow. They start getting wordy around here. Max sees this special offer in a shop. So the offer is buy 1 large plate and get 1 small plate for half the normal price. So the normal price for a large plate is £2. the normal price for a small plate is 80p. So you can look at this like 280p is 0.8 pounds. Or you can do £2 as 200p, and a small plate is 80p, however you are comfortable. I'm going to do it with the decimal. But so Max wants to buy 6 large plates and 6 small plates using this offer. So this offer, what does it entail? For every large plate, price of small plate is halved, right? So he's buying 6 large plates. So that means he can get 6 large plates, normal price, which is £2. This is £12. And out of those 6, the small plates are all half price, which means instead of 0.8 is 0.4. So if you times this, because he's getting 6 of them, if you slide it around a bit, or if you're confident with dealing with your decimals, if you can even ignore the 0.4 times 6 is 24. Slap the 0 back on, 0.24, right? Sorry, even I made a mistake. Don't slap the 0 back on, right? But 0.4 times 6, that's 2.4. Because 4 times 6 is 24. Put the decimal point back on, 2.4. Forgive me. So you add them. 12 plus 2.4 is 14.4. So yes, he has enough because he's got 15 quid. If you want to do a cheeky one as well, 14.4 is smaller than 15. So total of 700 tickets were sold for were on sale for a football match. 452 were sold. How many tickets were not sold? 700 minus 452, right? So this goes to 6 for this to have 10, but this 0 can't minus 2, so you need to do that again. 9 minus, oh nope, this is 10. 10 minus 2 is 8. 9 minus 5 is 4. 6 minus 4 is 2. That means 248 tickets are left. For a different football match, 297 were sold for $9.50 each. 399 tickets were sold for $19.50 each. So work out the total, an estimate for the total amount of money paid for these tickets. So one thing you do for significant figures, no, for estimates, one significant figure. So first, non-zero number. The only exception is if you get a number like 0.1, it doesn't go to 0, but it goes to 0.1. Why? Because it's non-zero number, so it's not even an exception actually. But so the first non-zero number you look at it, so 297, 9 goes into this, 300. For 950 goes into this, 10. For 399, 400, right? Same thing for 1950, 20. That means 300 times 10, because 10 quid for 300 tickets and 20 quid for 400. So this would be, so you can even split this up. 400 times 2 is 800 times by 10, 8,000 plus this, slap 0 on there, 3,000. 3,000 plus 8,000, 11000, 11,000. So is my answer to part A an underestimate, which means the actual price would actually be lower, or an overestimate, which underestimate, the actual price would actually be higher because my numbers are rounded down, or overestimate, which means no, my answer is actually higher than it will be because I rounded up. What have we been doing? Round up, round up, round up, round up. So it is an overestimate because all values rounded up. So there's other situations where you might round down this thing, round up this thing. Just the one you do more is probably it. Or you need to look with a case by case basis. Say for example, if you did like 0.9, you round it to 1, 0.6 round it to 1. Obviously this is a bigger jump, right? So look at the bigger jumps, look at how much the value actually changes. Say for example, this only changes by 1, so it might not see a big effect, but it's a case by case basis, right? So next one. Here are 6 numbers, work out the mean. What is the mean? The mean is the average, right? How do you get the average? Mean equals total value divided by number of values, right? Because you're finding out kind of the average of, okay, we've got all this together. If we've got all these numbers together, if we split it evenly, what would we have, is essentially what they're saying. So 13 plus 5, that's 18, plus 4, that's 22, plus 9, that's 31, plus 3, that's 34, and now plus 8, that is 42. So 42, got 6 people, that's 7, which means the mean is 7. Means the mean is 7, right? Simplify 15a over 3. So this, because it's a multiple, you can look at it like this. 15 over 3 times a. This is what it essentially is. Or you can even do a over 1 if you fancy. So let's split this here. 3, 5. 1, 5. Because 3 times 5 is 15. Which means it would actually just be 5a. But the situation you can't do this is if it's 15 plus a. Because then this value would be different. Right? The top value would be different. It would be, or you'd have to do this, which would be 5 plus 1 over 3a, but that looks ugly, so we don't want that, right? So next one, simplify 19 plus 5b plus 4c minus 7b plus c. First thing I can notice, something that doesn't have a letter, you're going to the side. And now let's find the letters. 5b, and remember the sign is always before the number, so minus 7b, 5b minus 7b, which is negative 2b, plus 4c plus c, so plus 5c, right? So negative 2b plus 5c plus 19. Or if you fancy, you want to make it look neater, it would be 5c minus 2b plus 19. Wonderful. Factorize 8d minus 6. What does factorize mean? Factorize means you take away, and especially when it says factorize fully, is you take away the highest common factor out of a number. Or essentially, you take away what goes into this number. So what are these? These are even numbers. So what goes into them? Obviously, it's 2, right? So 2, what's 8 divided by 2 is 4, right? D. So just put the D there because we didn't touch the letters, right? So minus 3, because 2 times minus 3 is minus 6. Same thing as 2 times 4D is 8D, right? Because 4D times 2 is 8D, if that helps you think about it. So it would be 4D minus 3. Right, so last week, 73% of the tickets sold, so many cinemas, sold at a cinema were adult tickets. What percentage of tickets were not adult tickets? So again, cent is 100 minus 73%, right? We'll just slap the percent back on afterwards. What's 100 minus 73? So that is 27. 27. But remember, 27%, so it's 27 here. Some people watch the film at the cinema. Number of adults to the number of children is 2 to 5. So it's 2 to 5. What does this mean? So you're either an adult or you're a child, right? Because it doesn't mention nothing about teens. That means if you look at it on the big picture, this is the whole pool of the people. And if you add these two numbers together, that means that there's 7, right? There's 7 in total in the group. So adults is 2 out of this whole 7, which means 2 over 7. 2 over 7. Wow. On Friday, 500 people watched the film at the cinema. 70% of these people were children. On Saturday, 720 people watched the film at the cinema. 5 over 8 of these people were children. Kasim thinks more children watch the film on a Friday than on Saturday. Is Kasim correct? So let's see if Kasim is correct, or does he deserve this 5 in this foundation paper? So 500 people, or 500 times 1, this helps me think. 70% of the people were children. What's 70%? 70 over 100. So now you just multiply. See, this is 1 goes into this. This is 5. 5 times 70. What is 5 times 7, which is 35. Put the 0 back on. 530 people. So let's say 530 people watched the film on Friday. On Saturday, 720, 5 over 8. Even gives you the fraction, right? So 720, literally do the same thing, times 5 over 8. Because this means it's 5 over 8 of 720. And so 8 goes into 720 with 90. So that means it's 90 times 5. 9 times 5 is 45. That means there's 450. That means there's more people on Saturday. Was he correct? Nope. He is wrong. Because 450 is greater than 350. So sadly, Kasim is wrong. And also, always remember to explain. We must show how you get your answer. Let's just, make sure we're safe with showing that why he's wrong, right? Because at the end of the day, we're proving he's wrong. Okay, we've got the numbers, but what do these numbers mean, right? So now work out 6 over 7 times 5 over 12. So we can see that none of these things, no, some do, some things in this fraction go into each other. So this is 1, this is 2. So that means you just times it through, right? 5 over 7 times 2, which is 14. Is this the simplest form? Yes, it is. Wunderbar. So here is the list of ingredients for making 20 biscuits. He wants to make 60 biscuits. How many 20 biscuits do we need for 60 biscuits? We need 320 biscuits, right? So let's see, how much flour does he need? 250 for 20. That means you literally just times this number by 3. 25 times 3 is 75. Slap a 0 on there. 750 grams. Wow. So, now question 17. There are 200 counters in a bag. 38 are red, 52 are blue, the rest are yellow or green. There are the same number of yellow counters as green counters, right? So, let's say, I don't even think we need to do this, but let's say yellow counters is X. And because there's the same number, green counters is X as well. So 200 minus the red minus the blue, it equals 2x, because remember there's 2 colors remaining. So 200 minus 38, again do the same process as we did earlier. 10, 2, 9, 3, 6, 162, but we minus 52 again, which is 110. So out of 110 is actually 2x, so we need to divide 110 by 2. Do your short division if you want to. I don't, so this is actually 10, so 5, oh, it's actually 11, so 5, 10 goes into this, 5 again, so it's 55, right? So 55 are yellow. And 55 over 200. So what we want to get to is 100, because we're looking for what percentage? Yes. So that means you need to divide by 2. That means this top number you need to divide by 2 as well. I would suggest maybe don't risk it and do it on the side like this. 4, 15, 7, 14, 1, 5. So it's 27.5%.